Americans on both Medicare and Medicaid, do not skip this message.
Of the about 500,000 detectable earthquakes every year, approximately 100,000 cause enough of a stir to rumble through the ground and be felt on the Earth's surface. The most common type of earthquake is caused by continuously moving tectonic plates. When rocks press against each other, they initially bend to accommodate the opposing forces. As they grind together, they get stuck and pressure builds. When they reach a point at which they cannot bend any further, they break, and shockwaves vibrate up through the earth. This energy is released in the form of seismic waves. Scientists record these waves on a seismograph and grade earthquakes on the moment magnitude scale. The biggest earthquake ever recorded was the Valdivia earthquake in 1960, also known as the Great Chilean Earthquake, which registered a whopping 9.5 magnitude. Not all earthquakes cause this much damage, but they can happen anywhere and at any time. Many buildings and bridges in earthquake zones are designed to sway and move with the trembling earth, creating safer spaces for the public the next time the ground begins to rumble.
Americans on both Medicare and Medicaid do not skip.
All right, so yeah, you see that there, brothers. First off, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Arakakwa, Dash. So yeah, this was a 4.8 magnitude earthquake, rattles New York City, New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut, as well as Massachusetts. I have firsthand seen people reporting who I know, who called me, and asked me about it. I didn't get nothing or whatever, but it is what it is. But, because I'm up here in Connecticut. So it says here, earthquakes in this region are uncommon, but not unexpected. It's likely people near the epicenter are going to feel aftershocks for this earthquake in the magnitude 2 to 3 range. And there's a small chance there can be an earthquake as large or larger following an earthquake like this. Okay, so it says here, this is the guy that quoted that was Paul Earle, a seismologist at the USGS Earthquake Hazards Program. So yeah, so basically it says he told the reporters, in terms of our operations, this is a routine earthquake. Immediately we knew this would be of high interest and important to people who don't feel earthquakes a lot. Yeah, and this is the epicenter really of wickedness, you know what I'm saying? New York, Connecticut, New Jersey. That's where wickedness really generated to a high level out here, with Jake and their culture, the black culture, Puerto Rican culture and shit, that nigga Bronx shit, niggas shit, Harlem shit. That's that shit that, is like, causing mass confusion with the music industry and then polluting the whole earth. It's part of the wine of Babylon. The wine of Babylon. Cardi B, Cardi, acting like she's hard or something, like she wouldn't get mollywopped by one of the smallest men on the face of the planet. Would take care of her, no problem, no issues. But anyways, this is the epicenter, and this basically is just the beginning of sorrows, man. This is the beginning of these things, man. The end is not yet. Okay, so it says people reported feeling the shaking as far as north as Maine and as far south as Norfolk, Virginia. Now that's a long span, Maine is all the way north to the right of us, and then Virginia, is pretty much down south almost. It's real close to being down south. So it says, if you feel shaking, drop, cover, and hold. Earl said, no major disruptions or damage have been reported in New Jersey or New York. But that doesn't mean that the Lord won't do it. See what I'm saying? The Lord can do this, man. He has his way in the whirlwind as well as this as well in these things here. Because when you go to the scriptures in Matthew 24 and verse number 2, it says, and Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. One of my favorite scriptures. So eventually this is all going to come tumbling down. The Lord could use earthquakes. He could use, the missiles. He could use a combination of the earthquakes, missiles, and a hurricane, which he's going to break it down here. Matthew 24:3 says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? And that world's talking about eon, the age, okay? Because there's 3 different worlds for world. Oikomene, the whole entire world and all the inhabitants. Cosmos, which means an aggregate or a certain particular sort, a small collection of a certain thing. Or eon, which means an age or time, a certain period of time. And that's what he's talking about. When's going to be the end of this world, of this particular sort here, of this particular age, rather, should I say, of Esau being in power, the so-called white man ruling, and people, obviously we're in mourning, constantly having to work. This devil's put the pressure on us. He's got all this provocative shit on Instagram, Snapchat, and social media. X is now awful. Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, is so awful. They got all kinds of pornography on there, hard body, with no filter, and no one can say nothing about it. And that's why the Lord's going to destroy this place for sure. He's going to revamp and reconstruct it in righteousness. So it says here, verse number 4, Matthew 24:4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And now let me stop right there. So we got the Iraq war that just took place not too long ago. The Desert Storm wars, that was one of them. There was another one in Bosnia a while back. There was another one, Kosovo or whatever. There was another one here in Afghanistan. And then there was another one with Ukraine and things like that now going on in Russia. And there's another one on the Gaza Strip over there taking place with the so-called Israelis, which was really their Israeli state. It's a state. They're not really the Israelites, And, Israelites are scattered amongst all nations. So some of those people are deceived and they actually are Israelites, like small percentage of them. But, they're all deceived. And really, the Lord said the deceived and the deceiver are his. So he's got all these people in a trick bag who need to be in a trick bag. And the people who are in the knowledge, who understand, they're the ones who understand. And you're handpicked to understand it, okay? Which is amazing. All right, and that's why we got to repent and ask the Lord for forgiveness on a daily, man. None of us are fully right, and we need the Lord to help us, So it says here, in verse 6, it says, and ye shall have wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in different places. That's what diverse places means. So yeah, there's earthquakes in different places. Now, we don't typically have one up here, in the New York area, New Jersey area. So the Lord is definitely sending warning shots, like warning, I'm going to smash this area. This area is going to get it. And like they said too, some of those seismologists, they said that they follow up with another one. As normally this small tremor breeds bigger ones later. So we don't know what could happen. You brothers need to always be on the ready and praying to the Lord for mercy, because anything can happen. The earth can open up and swallow you whole and kill you. And that's all designed by the Lord. All right, verse 8 says, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then many shall be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Correct. And who did he get? The women's liberation movement. College, right? College and feminism has killed the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man's family unit better than segregation, better than slavery, better than anything. So this devil knew what he was doing. He said, look, we could just get them in the mind. When we get their mind, we don't even need to physically kill their ass or keep them in slavery. They're going to do by programming, mental programming, and the women are doing the bidding of the so-called white man, selling out her husband for multiple suitors, multiple people, adultery, high-level pleasure seekers, rather than joy, of having a family and being in compliance with the Lord. They sold out to wickedness. And rather than, the older women teaching the young women likewise to love their husbands and to be keepers at home, they teach them to be promiscuous, play the field and do what you want to do and just, never settle down and, wait until you're 30 or 40 to have kids. And then when in your journey, people of value do not want you because you're already past the flower of your age and really are no asset to a man. It's always, oh, what can a man do for me? And that's the programming that Esau has really put down on our people. You know what I'm saying? That's why the women are offended. They're offended at the truth. That's why the Lord said they hated me before they hated you. They hated the truth, is what he's saying. They hated the knowledge of the truth. And when the elders and things would tell them, and the heads of, Israel, even from since the days of Moses on down, without them being physically present, these people just go off and they commit sins upon sins over and over and over, So, yeah, brothers, that's why the gospel's got to get preached. The good news is Yahweh Shai is going to come back to eradicate the so-called white man, put him to death, and then put him in slavery. Put the heads to death. Their armies will be silenced and destroyed. And then we're going to have them set up the kingdom because we're not lifting a finger. And these people, just like they had us working and building their empire, we're going to sit back and enjoy, the fruits of their labor, just like they've done to us with this mental slavery, Jim Crow stuff, all these things that they've done to destroy and debilitate the so-called black man, Hispanic, Native American, Latinos, family. This is the reason why these tremors are happening, okay? Like it said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. So don't bug out, For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's what the Lord said. So we just got to hang on, hold on, because this is going to be high level, okay? It's going to be high level, the destruction that takes place, all right? And the White House talked about it. President Joe Biden spoke with Murphy, it says in this article, about the earthquake, and the White House is monitoring the situation, they said. The president said his administration is in touch with the state and local officials and will provide assistance if needed, according to the White House statement. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, which is ridiculous to have a woman governor. The woman's the head of the state of New York, and that could be another reason why there was an earthquake. That's never happened, to my knowledge, with a man there. It's unbelievable, man. So yeah, it hit west of Manhattan, and it's funny because that's where the apostles used to preach. It says a 4.8 magnitude earthquake hit west of Manhattan and has been felt throughout New York. Okay, so yeah, again, the Lord basically, showing and proving that, look, he's going to come through and he's going to do something, man. So it says quake was one of the strongest to ever impact New Jersey. I'm not sure if that's old. Okay. Friday's earthquake was the most significant in New Jersey since 1884. Okay. So yeah, it's been a long time. That was just about over, 200 years ago. So yeah, about almost 200 years ago, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's like 140 years, something to that nature. Yeah. So it said when an August 10th earthquake somewhere near Jamaica Bay, New York, toppled chimneys. So yeah, that was a while ago, man. It's been quite a long time, man. It caused damage, but this is crazy. So yeah, they went right back to work. Shelves and bodegas were, all this shit's gonna stop, brothers. Salvation's coming, man. Just hang on, hang in there. All right, with that, let's get a quick update. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.